What's good, y'all? Welcome to another installment, another edition of Black Man's Thoughts. A lot of stuff that's been going on in Ravens world. A lot of injuries, man. Not too happy about that. I know if you're a fan, you're completely devastated by what's been going on. And, I ain't gonna lie, I was bummed out. I was real bummed out. I was pretty heated. I'm like, what's going on? So let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Is it the personal, is it training? Is it the field conditions? I heard on Twitter they said Dick Cass is going to look into at the end of the season about, he's going to look into the training field conditions, and also about the training. And you see if they're putting too much, see what's going on. I mean, all these injuries, man. My bad, I'm smoking. It's just piling up. And my bad. It's just piling up. And you know what I mean? To me, there's no excuse. Send my little son come home from school. You about to be all happy.
Dad, hi.
What's up, buddy? I'll holler at you, man. I'm shooting a video right now, okay?
Okay.
Talk about the Ravens, right? You have a good day at school?
Yeah.
You did?
I made one friend. Guess who he is?
Who is he?
Isaiah.
Uh-oh, you knowing their names now, huh? Go tell mom the good news. Y'all play outside?
Yeah.
Good job.
Mom, guess
What's going on with you, boy? You alright? You have a good day at school? You got anything to tell me?
No.
Alright. My bad, y'all. Y'all know how it is with kids. But anyway, you know what I mean? Dick Cass is looking into some of the conditions. I was saw a few posts about how it's ridiculous to, blame Harbs. You know what I mean? Just to recap, we lost J.K. Dobbins. We lost Justice Hill out for the season. And then we lost Gus the Truck out for the season. That's three of your top running backs out for the season. We still had Tyson Williams. I think he's going to go into the season as the number one back. But it was devastating. And then right after the play of Gus Edwards, guess who gets hurt? Marcus Peters. So injuries are definitely piling up. You had Hollywood, Boykins, and Sammy Watkins all missed significant time with injuries. A lot of the O-line barely played anything. Ben Cleveland, Ronnie Stanley, even AV hurt. Our starting center Bozeman was hurt. Zeitler was hurt. I mean, I do think it warrants something being looked into. I know I was listening to the Ken show, the Film Sunday show, and they were saying over the last decade, Baltimore is like the top 5 teams when it comes to, least injured players. I know we all remember the 2015 years when everybody was hurt. I think it was another year after that too, or before that, everybody was hurt. We had like 22 players on IR. Matter of fact, we was hurt pretty good last year as well. So it's definitely, especially when we played the Steelers, I believe. I know we had a lot of people out that game, but I definitely think it's something to look into. But on the Ken show, no, on 410 Sports, I believe, they brung up something that was really interesting. And I forgot who said it, so, my bad who dropped the info, but shout out to 410 Sports, a Ravens podcast on YouTube. I don't have mind sharing everybody's podcast, man, because, it's good content is good content. You know what I mean? We don't have to compete with each other. We just got to support each other. I think the content will go out, the fanship, will go out further if we all support each other. But they were saying that after 2015, I remember we fired our we let go of our strength and conditioning program. Trainer, and I think we got Saunders. Oh, we got somebody, and I know we've been doing really good since then. But now with the new, we have to look into the new technology that we're saying and see if there are any things like they were talking about a GPS, something about GPS on the practice field. And what that does, it tracks to see how hard the intensity of practice is. I mean, technology is amazing. I've heard about that. I know Hollywood was using a GPS when he was running and stuff like that. So obviously they know there's some tinkers. I don't think that they need to overhaul the program because, again, if we're top 5 in least injuries, and I can tell that after that 2015, we've definitely did a lot better on the injury tip. I think it's a smart idea to do, and I definitely support, just to see if there's something out there, to see if we're putting too much strain on ankles or joints. You know what I mean? Not necessarily changing the program, but let's just see where we're going on. You know what I mean? I mean, even though there was injured in non-contact drills, I think Marcus Peters was going through just a regular DB drill. Still, he's still your number 2 quarterback who's greatly needed, and everybody has injuries, but if you can find ways to prevent it, I don't think that the fan base should say, oh, we should just leave it alone. I do think that you should look into it and see if there's something that we can tinker, and if not, leave it alone. But if there is, then let's change it, you know. So it's just been injury after injury after injury, and this is supposed to be a Super Bowl push. This Super Bowl push, man, you know what I mean? You have to exhaust all options, and that's what EDC did, Eric DeCosta did, you know. Went out there, signed a Trenton Cannon. So I said, you know what I'm saying? I said, okay, you know, speed guy, you know what I mean? Little background on him. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. He's also played special teams, aka Justice Hill. Interesting. He ran like a 4.4. 4.42, very fast. He comes out of D2, Virginia State. And nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with those players. Ravens thrive off those smaller schools. So, you know, he was added. I think he was added to the 53-man roster, actually. But obviously, I think they're going to use him on special teams. Then we signed Le'Veon Bell. Well, Eric DeCosta signed Le'Veon Bell. And Le'Veon Bell, I mean, what do you say about this guy? I mean, to me, he was my favorite back at one point in the league. I don't care who he played for. Dude was a monster. Dude was a very, very talented back. And he, to me, embodied everything a back should be able to do. And to me, he should have got his money. People give him a hard knock, but when you look at the guaranteed money that he was going to make, you know, if I was him with his utilization and the amount of years a running back has, I would have been pissed too. And you know what I mean? So I don't agree with the comments and him bashing Andy Reid, and I don't know their relationship and why he said what he said, but I can tell you this, talent-wise, at one point in time, Le'Veon Bell had it. Now, does he still have it? I don't know. I can't tell you that. I know that he's played for the Jets, didn't have it. I know he's played for the Chiefs, didn't have it. But, you know, how long was he there to acclimate himself to the playbook or get utilized the right way? I don't know. I can't make any excuses for him to try to be a homer or anything. All I know is that on both teams, he sucked. That's a fact. But the good thing on the Jets, he still showed that I think he had like 500 yards receiving or something like that. He had really good numbers receiving. So that shows you that he's capable of still being some kind of a threat. You know what I mean? Again, I don't put anything, you know, I don't say that he was perfect in what he was doing. And he could be a me guy. He could be a cancer in the locker room. He could be, you know what I mean? He could be all those negative things. Or he could be saying, or we could look at it like this. This is once the most dominant running back in football to me. To a lot of people, not just me, to a lot of analysts. He was scary. He really, really, really causes mismatch problems. He's not fast, but he's quick. He's sudden. You know what I mean? He has good patience, good vision. Now, you pair that up with a heavy run team. A heavy run team who has, for the last 2 years, has set NFL records on rushing with a great run one, arguably the best run coordinator in the game. I think Le'Veon Bell has a really, 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 really good chance of revitalizing something. I'm not saying he's going to go back to the old Steeler days, but given that We lost Gus. We lost J.K. We lost our starters. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a bulk share of the carries and those wheels start turning. Maybe I'm thinking too far in advance, and maybe I'm too hyped up on it. But what if though? Let's just say what if. Let's stoke the flames a little bit. What if we start off with Tyson Williams, sprinkle in a little bit of Le'Veon Bell, who Harbaugh said today. He said that the other running backs are more up to speed. Latavius Murray and Freeman. He said that Le'Veon Bell is actually, I think he's still on the practice squad, but I think the reason why he said today that he's still getting his legs under him, he's still trying to get into shape. So I don't think he's in shape. He may not even play first game. I think he will, but there's a chance that he won't with those statements. But you give Le'Veon Bell sprinkle carries, and he starts to get warmed up. He starts to get into the rhythm of the offense. He starts to really get comfortable, and Lamar Jackson starts to really, really slow defenders down from attacking Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? He's opening up lanes, and he starts to get those legs moving again. I wouldn't be surprised at that. This is a very, very good system for him, I think, or a good opportunity. So I would not be surprised if he could revitalize his career here. Just think of what we could have done. People say, oh, we wouldn't have needed him. But imagine, though, I don't care what nobody say. On his worst day with COVID, he's better than Justice Hill. I don't care what nobody say. So just imagine if we had J.K., Gus Edwards, and we can line up a Le'Veon Bell out wide and hit him on certain things out there and utilize that passing scheme. Wow, that's a mismatch for linebackers. I don't care who they are. That boy can catch. That boy can run some routes. So I think that, hopefully he can get something going, because I wouldn't mind him coming back if he does a little something in the pass game as a third back for next year as well. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but I'm a big Le'Veon Bell fan. Hopefully he can revitalize his career here. I would love to see him be in Baltimore for a few years if he does. I think he's just a very, very, he was a talented back that I love to see. Hey, hopefully he can still get it going. Then they signed Devontae Freeman. When I lived in Georgia, Devontae Freeman was the back for the Falcons, and I got a chance to see him play. He was a little splash guy, had some speed on him. He kind of reminds you of the style of running. Shout out to Top Billings. He broke it down. Go to his page, and he really breaks it down. But Devontae Freeman is what you would get from J.K. I'm not saying he's as explosive as J.K. right now, because he's actually on his downside of his career. That's his problem, Devontae Freeman. He's just not running like he used to, and that's what happens with running backs. I don't think he's going to be anything great in our offense. I really don't. I actually would not be surprised if he was the first person cut. I would not be surprised of that, especially if you got Cannon on special teams. You just find Levante Murray, you got a Bell, and you still got Tyson Williams. I think if Tyson Williams goes out there against against Las Vegas, and he goes out there and rushes and he's showing the explosion, you don't need a Freeman. There's no reason why you need him. But again, he's a splash guy. He's pretty fast. He actually he's about 5'8", 206 from Florida State. Runs a 4.5. He's 29 years old, and that's the thing. He's 29. Le'Veon Bell is 29. So those are terrible numbers for running back. So they're both getting up there. How much tread is on those tires, we'll see. And then they signed Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray is also a nice size back. Latavius Murray is 6'2", 225. He's actually 31, but he ran a 4.3. This guy can move. I think he's always averaged like over 4 or 5 yards per carry. I think he has some fumbling issues. That's his downfall. He was splitting carries with the Saints, so I think his body is a little bit more preserved than maybe a Le'Veon Bell. I don't know, but he's pretty decent career. I think in 2015, 2017 or something like that. One of those years he topped 1,000 yards. He was a featured back. You know what I mean? So if he can get it going, I think this is a good offense for him. He's a one-cut guy. I think he's going to have some success. I think the running back room is actually pretty set. It's actually not bad. It really is not bad. I was really, really down after losing our start running backs. But after these signings, man, I'm like, with this scheme, with these backs, we should be we should be able to run the ball. We should be able to run the ball. We might not be able to break hundreds, break records and all this other stuff. But I think that I think that they'll be able to get the carries to keep the defense on their toes. You know what I mean? So the running back position, I think, is set. I'm ready for for the running back position. I'm comfortable with that going into Las Vegas. I really am. I think that everything will be okay. The Marcus Peters injury, that's a blow, man. That's a blow because now we're counting on Anthony Avery, who's a good cornerback, but the problem is he's never started a full season. He's come in on spurts. He's played when people were hurt and he's held his own. And on any other team, he could probably start. So I'm not worried about his talent-wise, but the problem is like, I just think that behind him we have Jimmy Smith, we have Tyvon Young, and it gets kind of thin after that. You know what I mean? Even though we have good depth, it starts to get thin in the terms of experience and health. Everybody after that is very hurt all the time. And then after that, you hardly any experience. So it's like, hey, we're really counting on Avery to be able to plug in. But you can't replace certain things from that Peterson brings, that instinct, that ability to jump the routes like Ed Reed. Those are one-of-a-kind traits, man. So injury bug has definitely started to hit us. We play in Las Vegas Monday night. First team to play in the stadium, so it's a historic game. Can't wait. I think that I was really bummed out, like I said, and I was like, season over. But now that I think about it, I think Avery should be okay. Of course, he's going to get picked on. Hopefully we're going to need another cornerback to step up. We really are. Nigel Warrior left. We traded Sean Wade. One of our cornerbacks got to stick up. I don't think we have Eman Marshall no more. I think he's gone. So I just think that Eman, I think was hurt anyway. But I just think that, if he can be a plug-in player like we think he can, I think our defense still is going to be a dominating defense. I still expect us to go to the playoffs. But, you got to say with these injuries, man, you have to start to say, hey, only talking about this year, that Super Bowl window, it closes so easy. So hopefully one of these injuries haven't closed that window. We'll see if any more information comes out. We would definitely bring it to you. Black Man's Thoughts. This is Baltimore Ravens injury updates, signings. A few days away. The Cowboys just played a hell of a game last night against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looks like the real deal again. They have a good defense. Dak and them, I think they gave the ball. I think they gave the game away at points, and I think that Tampa Bay, missed some opportunity as well. So football is back, man. Football is back. You can tell these quarterbacks is getting the ball out quick. You can tell when, like people like CeeDee Lamb, Coop, you can get them the ball, make plays, and key parts of the game. That's what we need our receivers to do. That's what we need them to do. Make plays when it matters most. We need Andrews to catch the ball when it matters most. You know what I mean? Playoffs, we usually do good during the season, but we have to win the games we need to win. So, hey, this is Black Man's Thoughts. Like, subscribe, share. Tell me what you think. Shalom, shalom.